Her Excellency Fatou Bom Bensouda is a legal trailblazer, making history as the first woman and African to serve as Chief Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court from 2012 to 2021, following 8 years as Deputy Prosecutor. Her distinguished career includes serving as the Attorney General and Minister of Justice in the Gambia and as a Senior Legal Advisor for the UN International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda. In 2020, the Trump administration sanctioned her over ICC investigations involving U.S. personnel. However, the Biden administration revoked these sanctions in 2021, calling them inappropriate. She is currently the Gambian High Commissioner in the UK. Today, Gambians are learning the terrifying personal cost Fatou Bensouda paid for her unwavering commitment to global justice. Speaking directly to Al Jazeera's Step Vaessen about her time investigating the highly sensitive Palestine situation, Madam Bensouda revealed that the pressure didn't just take place in diplomatic offices. It came right to her doorstep.
Initially, it was very subtle. I had, for instance, a visit from some people, some guys whom I never knew.
You didn't know where they were from?
I didn't know where they were from. And they came directly to my house.
Here in The Hague?
Here in The Hague, when I was still living here. They came directly to my house. It was 2 of them. Fortunately, the driver I had at the time had the sense of just taking the number plate. And I was... they sought to see me. I think they insisted a little, and I came out eventually. I saw them. They did not come into the house, but they were standing there, and they gave me an envelope of, I think, $500. And
they said something?
They said, yeah, they said something that they were bringing this because it's from a friend or someone whom I have helped. I said to myself, and the assessment that was later made, was to show me that they know where I live.
Yeah.
That was the purpose.
Yeah.
Subsequent investigations by ICC security revealed that the vehicle used by the mysterious man had been rented from the airport that morning using a phone number traced directly back to Israel.
What I had to do was I received the envelope, I took it to the ICC security, I took it to the registrar and reported the incident. And gave, of course, gave him back the $500 I was given, and described the situation, and also submitted the number plate. As far as I know, at the time, the car was rented that morning from the airport, I think. So I believe these people were coming from outside. And,
but was it ever established where they were from?
The only thing that could be established was that the telephone numbers they submitted at the time was from Israel.
From Israel?
Yes, from Israel.
Despite the heavy burden, the former Gambian prosecutor chose to protect her staff, keeping the threats hidden from them to avoid panic. However, she expressed deep disappointment at the lack of concrete protection from European member states and the Dutch government.
Initially, I would say that I did not, I tried to keep it as quiet as possible, only reporting back to the security at the ICC. But I tried very much to keep it away from the staff, the general staff, because I did not want to create panic. Even though I have reported, even personally, I went to the authorities to report that this is what is happening, and of course expected more support. But this was not, at least as far as I know. Maybe something was happening in the background that I'm not aware of.
But the intimidation tactics only intensified. Madam Bensouda detailed to Vaessen a chilling clandestine meeting in a New York hotel with a high-ranking intelligence figure who issued a tiny veiled threat to her family's safety.
Then Kabila said at the time that they wanted to meet, somebody wanted to meet with me. And the person comes out of somewhere, and yeah.
And who was it?
It was the head of Mossad at the time, Yossi Cohen.
What did he say?
First time, very friendly, very nice. I think there was an attempt to win me over, but then eventually it's like, look, you really need to stop this. I think we have talked about this for a few times. And yes, they just wanted me to stop the investigation.
And you also perceived it as a threat to you personally and to your family.
Of course. And I also know that it had a lot to do with the eventual sanctions that I received. You know, as the first person to be sanctioned at the ICC.
Yeah,
the pushback culminated in 2019 when the U.S. Trump administration slapped her with severe economic sanctions. Bensouda described the hardship of having her bank accounts frozen and every transactions blocked, all for simply doing her job.
Transactions like booking a hotel, you cannot do that. Transferring to member states, you cannot do that. So it was very, very difficult, just doing these simple things. And also, I remember at the time my son, who lives in the Gambia, had his account also was blocked. I also remember that there was a lot of efforts on investigating my husband.
For years, critics have accused the ICC of having an African bias, claiming the court only targeted African leaders. But Madam Bensouda firmly pushed back against this narrative.
You're talking about what they call the Africa bias. And I believe that this was a way of also attacking the court and the credibility of the court. All these cases, all of them were referred, or most of them were referred to the ICC by these African states. And ICC did its responsibility because those African states who asked the court to intervene are part of the court. And if they feel that if they see that they are not in a position to investigate and prosecute these crimes, their responsibility was to ask the ICC to investigate.
I understand, but you are the prosecutor taking it beyond Africa.
When asked by Step Vaessen if the psychological warfare, the financial sanctions and the threats to her life were ultimately worth it, the proud Gambian legal icon had this to say.
Always. We have to work together to ensure that those who are causing these crimes, alleged to be causing these crimes, are brought to justice. It is critically important for us, going forward. So I don't think that one should ever think that it is useless, or that one should ever think that because there is this pushback, there is this attack, then we should finally just close shop and leave.
An extraordinary display of resilience from a woman who carried the flag of the Gambia to the highest echelons of international law. Madam Bensouda's revelations on Talk to Al Jazeera have sparked intense global debate on how international civil servants are protected when standing up to global superpowers.